I have this ADU renovation project in California where we're basically trying to keep the core of the structure. There's an existing patio that we're looking to infill to establish a new primary suite, as well as reclad the exterior and renovate the kitchen. So over the course of the next 8 episodes, I'm going to take you through each step of this process, from the very first conversations with the client all the way through to the final drawing set. Every stage, every decision, the whole thing. All of this is visualized, drafted, and documented here in Rayon, a browser-based design tool built for interior designers and design teams. Renovation projects are always special because you really have to respect the existing structure, and you don't necessarily always have that full design freedom that you might want. The small scale of this project also allows us to really get into the details and see how things are put together. I didn't want to cover just the finished drawings and the beautiful final presentation. I really wanted to get into how we put it all together and how Rayon is really used to streamline my workflow. 8 episodes, 8 stages of the same project. So we'll start with the project setup and the client goals for the project, and we'll get into documenting the existing structure so we can draft our existing floor plans, and then from there derive our demo plans and then start to establish our proposed new design. Before we get into all of that, we'll also do some client mood boards as well as design sketches and how to get those presented directly from Rayon. And then we'll get into all of the detailing, project data, and even our drawing aesthetics and presentation styles as well. Finally, we'll have the complete drawing package ready to deliver. All of this is done in Rayon from the very first file through the last sheet. If you want to follow along with your own project, there's a link in the description to create a Rayon account. Episode 1 is the project setup and client brief. Let's get into it. Welcome to episode 1, the project setup. Here, we're going to walk you through how to start a new project, whether that's from scratch or by using one of our built-in templates. Eventually, we'll show you how to create your own template as well. We'll go through the basics of everything that you need to organize and create a project here in Rayon. Let's get started. When you first open Rayon, you'll start out with your personal account. So you can see here I'm on my own space, and if I open this up, I've actually got my own professional pro account. And so I can always go here where I've actually got all of my workspaces beyond just that personal my models. So here I can actually organize into workspaces, which if I had employees or collaborators, I could use this to organize who has access to what. For example, maybe I want the entire team to have access to the active projects, but maybe the libraries and templates, the intern doesn't need access to this where they can go in and make changes. And so here I can just make sure that the right people have access to the right information. That being said, once somebody has access to a project, then it's true collaboration. So much more like what you would expect out of Google Docs versus AutoCAD or Revit or ArchiCAD. So everyone can actually work at the same time in the same project, true collaboration in that way. You actually see each other's cursors moving around the screen. So coming back to my personal space, starting from scratch, I can of course open a new model, which that's actually going to be completely blank. So I'll go ahead and start a new project, and we'll see just how wide open and empty this is. So if I go over to my canvases, which I'll introduce in a minute, here we've got a model canvas and a paper canvas, both completely empty. Our layers list is completely empty. You can see here we have no pages. So this is just a completely blank slate that I'm able to get started on a new project. However, that seems a little daunting. You can always start a new project based on a template. So I can come down here and open up the templates. And this is basically some sample projects that the team has put together. And so you can use this as a starting point. You can pull pieces from any of these, whatever you want to do. But also one really important aspect of this is that you can actually create your own templates. And so we'll walk through how to go about doing that and what the benefits are towards the end of this video. So I'm going to go ahead and open up one of these templates. So let's maybe take this beach house drawings. And so as this opens up, it's going to prompt me to duplicate this project. And so here, start drawing from this template, go ahead and duplicate. And you can see up in the tabs, this is actually opening up another version of this project. And so here's the original template, and then here's that copy that I just made. And if I go back into my home screen, this is going to show up under the My Models. So here we can see that new project that we started, as well as that beach house project that we took from the template. So now this is my own project. I can do with it as I want. And so I can, move the pages around. I can make any edits. I can go into the canvases and make some actual changes and really take this and create my own project off of it. And so next we'll go into how to organize a project, what the canvases might look like, how the layer structure works, and all of that. But before we get there, I do want to go over the benefits of creating your own template. So here, as we looked at before, if I start a new project just with the new model button, it comes out with a totally blank, empty project. But I can also, once I've saved a project as a template, I can go to the drop-down menu, and this is going to give me any project that I have personally saved. And so this could be a template that I've already used that's built in from Rayon, or it could be something I built myself. So here, I'm going to go to the CD set project template. This is something I built myself, which you will have access to. And we can go over how I organize projects and how I can use this as a starting point on any new project. So now I want to go over how to actually set up a project. So this is my own project template that I've built for myself. And as you can see already, it's not just that totally blank, empty canvas. We're actually seeing my presentation sheet that I've set up with a title block and all of that. So just kind of basic stuff. But as we open up our canvases up here on the left, here you can see that this is already populated not just with that single paper and model canvas, but with all of the canvases that I need to really get started on a project. And I can always add from here or make edits, whatever needs to happen, but this is always a good starting point. So getting into what canvases are and how we use them, this is really how we organize projects. And so I wind up with generally one, sometimes two paper canvases, and this is basically where we've got our sheet setups, right? So I've got one canvas with all of my plot sheets, and I wind up laying them out in a grid like this so I can see everything all in one place and really make sure that my presentation is cohesive across the board. And then like this, sometimes I might have a second paper canvas for presentation sheets that are maybe for like early schematics, things like that. Not necessarily part of the full CD set, but just depending on how you like to work. And then I wind up with a model canvas for all of my different drawing types. And so here we get into our floor plans. And so I wind up with putting, all of my different floor plan types all in one canvas. So here I've got an existing floor plan, proposed RCP or lighting plan. I also wind up doing electrical plans or furniture plans, and also for projects where I have multiple stories, very similar to how I've got the roof plan here, I just wind up stacking my floor plans in this way. So everyone might work a little bit differently, but that's the way I like to do things. Same thing here, going on to exterior elevations and building sections. Here I've got my elevations, my building sections. I've got my elevation datums all set up, and so everything is consistent and easy to read. And then even getting into interior elevations, which can always start to look a little messy, but I'm sure if you're coming from AutoCAD or something like that, this looks pretty familiar to you. And then even getting into details. I can do all of my construction documentation, all of my detailing of floor types, wall section details. All of this stuff can be done right here in Rayon. So everything, is all in one place. And lastly, getting into interior details. Here I've got all of my, shower details and trim and everything. So you can really do everything here. And as I start to add on to this, I might have a site plan, a model canvas for a site plan. I might have cabinet details. So really just can start to grow as you get more familiar with the platform. Before we get too far along, I do want to talk about object snapping, units, and stroke scales. So first for object snapping, we've got this little magnet icon in the bottom right. So if I toggle that off, now as I go to draw a line, I'm not able to snap to anything, right? But if I toggle that back on, now I'm snapping to my perpendicular, to my endpoints, my center points, along the edge, anything that I might want set. And so to set those criteria, I just open up the menu and I can check any of these off. So that should be pretty familiar if you're coming from AutoCAD or other platforms, really just making sure that you know where that is and how to use it. So now let's talk about units. So units exist in the right side under the properties panel, and I can change this per canvas. And so whether I'm working in metric or imperial, doesn't matter, it's really up to me. And so because I'm on a floor plan right now, feet and inches seems most appropriate. That way you can see with my dimensions, I've got this, 24'2", and everything kind of works appropriately. It's just what I'm used to using in a floor plan setting. Same thing with exterior elevations, interior elevations, all of that. Feet and inches just makes the most sense. Same thing if I was working in metric, then working in meters would probably be appropriate. But then getting into interior details. Here I've got my units set to inches just because of the scale of these details. And one way that that comes out is in my dimensions. Here, instead of seeing 0 feet and 4.5 inches and having this massive text within my dimension, I'm just seeing the inches. And same thing, even if I was seeing a 24-inch, and I would want to see that as 24 inches instead of 2 feet, right? So it just depends on the type of drawing you're working on. And that's one reason or one method that you might use to organize your canvases is depending on the scale of the drawing, depending on the unit that you want to use in that type of drawing, you might categorize your canvases in that way as well. Now let's take a minute to talk about stroke scale and how that relates to our final output. So I'm working on a floor plan here, working in a model canvas. And so because it's a model canvas, I'm working on everything at full scale. And so what I'm looking for is really kind of a preview of the scale of the drawing that my output is going to be. And so to do that, I've got my stroke scale preemptively set to 1/4 inch equals a foot because that's typically how I wind up exporting my floor plans. And so this is basically going to set my line weights, my dash scale, all of that is going to be anticipating what that output scale is going to be. So if I go to my plot sheets and I zoom into my floor plan here, I've got this view set to 1/4 inch. And so you can see all of my dash scales, my line weights, all of that matches what I was seeing in the model canvas. Same thing if I were to go back over to my floor plan and let's change this to an 1/8 inch. And so what's happening, you look at this and you see that the line weights all doubled in thickness, our dash scale doubled in size. And the reason for that is because the scale of the anticipated scale of the drawing is half of what it was. And so it's trying to maintain the same line weights for that final output at half the scale. And so it's basically doubling those line weights in the visualization here. So just something to keep in mind as you're kind of working through different scale drawings. And as you start to draft your drawings, keep in mind, preemptively think about what scale your final output is going to be. And then you won't have any surprises down the road. One last thing that I want to bring up, because people oftentimes are confused by this or ask questions, is as I'm in my paper canvas and I select a view, so here I select this view of my floor plan. Now when I go over to my scale, I've got this set up to 1/4 inch equals a foot, which is exactly what we've been talking about this whole time. So that all matches. But say this looked foreign or looked incorrect for some reason. Oftentimes that's going to be because of the units. And so if I deselect that, here I've got my units set to inches, which is what I want. So that's why I'm seeing 1/4 inch equals a foot. But say I've changed this to centimeters. Now when I select that view, I'm going to see more of a metric style scale. So 1:48, that's still the same scale, right? 1/4 inch equals a foot, 1:48. But as I go to the drop down menu, this is going to show me different options. So now I have 1:40 and all of that. And so if I'm seeing something funny, and I'm going to undo that just for a second, then I can always just go to my units, change that to inches. And now as I select that view, now I've got more familiar scales showing here. So just something to keep in mind as you're setting up your drawings. If something looks funny, always check your units. It could be different per canvas again, so just make sure you're aware of where things are. Now let's take a look at the layers list. So this exists just here under the canvases, and if you're coming from other design platforms or CAD platforms, this should look pretty familiar. A couple things that I always tell people is this actually functions a little bit more like Adobe Suite and less like AutoCAD. So what I mean by that is in two ways. So one, any object on the drawing is present on the layers list. So as I select this couch, for example, that's going to highlight the furniture layer that I've placed it on. And as I open up that layer, you can see that we've got that object highlighted. And we could even have subfolders or sublayers, and so you can really get granular on keeping things organized. Depends on how well you like to organize your drawing sets. The other way that this is similar to Adobe is where a layer is on the list impacts its hierarchy in space. And so if I take a look again at that furniture layer, and if we compare it to the zones, which again, zones is what we have our flooring on. So that's the zones layer. And so if I take my furniture and I drop it below the zones layer, then you can see it all disappears because it's under that floor material. And so I want to make sure that that stays above. But this is also where, I've got separate layers for my countertop and cabinetry. And so if, for example, I've got stools at the kitchen island, then you can see that this will actually tuck underneath that countertop. So you can always, just using the layers list, make sure that everything is stacking correctly, that everything is doing the correct thing in the hierarchy. And so you don't have to go through that whole process of send it back, bring forward, using those key commands again and again. You can really just use the layers list to make sure that everything is showing correctly. So now let's take a step back and take an overview of the project. And say I wrap this project up and I really like the way I had everything organized. I've got my plot sheets kind of organized the way I like it. I've got my canvases set up, and getting into my floor plans here, maybe I've got all of my wall types and my line types and all of my furniture and appliance blocks, everything that I like to use. I really just want to use this same kind of method on future projects. And again, for the layers list as well, that everything here is organized the way I like, with everything kind of stacking appropriately. So what I can actually do, I can actually go ahead and share this project as a template. So I've already done it on this project. I'm already using this as a template. But once I check that box, now as I go to start a new project, that's going to be available on that drop-down menu. So I can basically use that as a starting point on every project moving forward. So I don't have to reinvent the wheel with rebuilding my plot sheets, rebuilding all of my canvases, my layer structure, my styles, my blocks. Everything's just already here. And so I can really just jump straight in, start designing, bring in any initial sketches or notes, and just be off to the races and ready to go. So that's it for episode 1, the project setup. In episode 2, we're going to get into documenting an existing site and using Rayon to draft our as-built drawings. I hope this was helpful, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe to catch that when it drops. Thanks.